Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy MC, and welcome back to One Africa Forum, Swahili Nation. Guys, it's the fourth day today, and I'm super excited, super pumped to dive into the topic of today. But before anything, guys, I'll be sharing the link of today's live stream, and if you want to participate in the live stream, you'll be able to go through that link and join me right away. Well, for the past 3 days, it has been amazing just chatting and talking with you all, hearing comments from different corners of the world. We had a conversation with someone from India, someone from the States, someone from Ethiopia, someone from Somalia. And today, it's another day. It's the fourth day, man. And I kind of feel like the conversation is supposed to we got to keep the conversation going on, you know what I'm saying? Because this is the only way to actually transform things. You begin with conversation. We begin with just a simple conversation, simple dialogue, you know? And I'm going to be inviting you guys here today. So welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to be diving in, talking about dual citizenship versus African diasporas. Basically, somebody like me, I know there's a lot of Africans who are outside of Africa right now, but they really want to keep their identity as an Africans. And most of African countries, they don't really allow to have dual citizenship. They just want you to have one. But then you see somebody has lived outside for a long time ago, for a long time, let's say 10 years or 20 years. So some part of him, even though is African, but this are kind of story we're going to talk about today, and other stuff in general, where we always talk about love, peace, and unity, and how can we unify. And I'll tell you a little bit why is it so important to talk about this, because this is what can lead to unity sometimes, because we don't have dual citizenship. Sometimes for a lot of African diaspora is really hard, and it's not really easy to let go of the other, how can I say, of the other identity that they do have. And so there's always a better way. And I feel like right now, Africa, we should start talking about this. We should start discussing about this dual citizenship. All right, guys. So I will share the link in the comment section and right now. And if you're joining from anywhere, please let me know as you're joining right now. Let me know in the comment section where you're watching from. And let me know in the comment section. And right now, I'm just dropping the link here in the comment section. This is the link. If you go through that link, you'll be directed come to the live stream, and we can have conversation. And even if you have something else that you wanna talk about, because you might not really know anything about this, maybe because you've been living in Africa all the time. But to define a little bit, dual citizenship is when one person have like two different passports. Right, let's say I've been living here in Korea for 9 years, right? Let's say I live for 15 years or 20 years. Then basically some part of me, it's actually some identity of me, it's actually here in South Korea as well. So dual citizenship is basically having, both passport, like Tanzanian passport and Korean passport. But my government, it doesn't allow me to do that. Even actually Korean government doesn't really allow that. So if I wanna have like one identity, then I need to let go of one. Like I need to let go of my Tanzanian to be like Korean, or to let go of Korean to be Tanzanian. That's just an example, but I'll never let go of my Tanzanian identity. All right, we have Bakari here.
I'll see you. Yeah. I'm going to send your comments to me and then subscribe because I feel like I'm going to
Hello, Bakari.
Hello.
Bakari. Do you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, Bakari. Yeah. Let me know, where are you calling from right now?
From USA.
USA. How is everything going on there,
USA. It's fine. It's good. How about you?
Man, it's good. It's good. I'm doing fine. For how long have you been living in the US?
It's like two years now.
2 years. And where are you originally from?
I'm from Tanzania,
Oh,
South Africa.
Tanzania, mambo vipi mzee?
Poa poa.
Bara, kumbe wewe ni mbongo.
Ya, nimetokea Tanzania kabisa huko
Oh,
Kigoma huko.
Kigoma. Okay.
Yeah,
And what are you
Kigoma
doing in the
kabisa
US?
nyumbani.
Are you a student there?
Huh?
What are you doing in the US?
I'm just studying,
Studying.
doing whatever I want. Yeah.
All right. Man, congratulations. That's such a good opportunity. And what do you think about the topic of today? What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Nasema nimeingia tu yani sielewi kama ni ni topic gani, yani nimeingia tu. Sielewi
Yeah.
kabisa yani ya leo, topic ya leo kabisa.
All right. So I'll just explain for you a little bit. Yeah, and we are talking about dual citizenship. Because I kind of feel like it's the topic that is the conversation that needs to go on, to keep going back home in Africa. As you know, a lot of countries in Africa, they don't really allow to have dual citizenship, but we have a lot of Africa's diaspora who are living or have been living outside for a long time, and some of them, they have families outside, but at the same time they don't really want to let go of their identity as an African, or I mean like passport, when you're talking about papers and everything. So I kind of feel like maybe it's time to start this conversation, towards like hopefully, in the near future, our governments, or I mean, they will change policy or something to have dual citizenship for some of the people. I mean, everybody pretty much. So that's basically is the topic that we are talking about, and I just want to know your thoughts. How long do you plan to stay in the States? Hello? Hello, Dr. Haptan. I think Bakari, he just disappeared. Yes, guys. So if you're joining, let me know where you're from. And yeah, you see, Dr. Haptan, man, I have a lot of a lot of passport I want to have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, I've seen a lot of offer from Ethiopians to give me like Ethiopian passport as well, citizenship. That would be amazing, you know what I'm saying? Like to have different identities. It's good. It's good. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? And talking about unity, talking about one Africa, that we want to unite Africa. And like recently, the president of Ghana, he actually announced, I believe it was like 1 year ago, he announced to African diaspora, I mean Ghanaians who are living outside, to actually come back home and to invest, or some of them even to move back home. So there has been a huge number of people from the US, from the UK, and other Western countries actually moving back to Africa. Even some of them, I mean, they originally kind of like black Africans or black Americans, but most of them, they're deciding to moving back to Africa. There's so many cases. If you go on YouTube, you'll find so many people moving back to Africa because life is good in Africa. Africa is just beautiful, man. When you talk about food, when you talk about the weather, when you talk about everything, is just amazing. So a lot of people have been going back home, and I feel like this maybe it's a conversation we should have, because most of these people, let's say they're from Nigeria or Ghana or Ethiopia or any other country, and when they go back to Africa, they don't really want to let go of their identity as well, because maybe they grew up and they've been raised outside, let's say in the States or UK. So they cannot really let go of that because that is part of them, but also they want to keep the identity as an African, I mean, in the papers as well. So if you're one of them, and if you want to share your thoughts, if you want to share your ideas, please, there's a link this one link in the comment section. If you click that link, it'll read you direct to me right here. I like this one. So I know Ethiopia, they're not allowing to have dual citizenship. The same thing to, you know, my country as well. They're not allowing. Yeah, actually, Ethiopian government have a plan to allow any African to come here visa free. Uh, that's amazing, Dr. Haptam. Would you mind to share that a little bit more in detail? If you can come to the live stream as well. It's been a while having you here. Yeah. So I think this is very important conversation, and especially when we are, because when you're talking about Africa, you're not just talking about Africans who are living inside Africa, but you're talking about Africans who are also living outside diaspora. You know, even those who they were taken a long time ago because of slavery. You know, we are talking about that as well. And if we want to unite Africa, I think we need to focus on both sides. We need to focus on people who are inside Africa and also people who are outside Africa. You know what I'm saying? And when we focus on that, then we need to create a system inside Africa that it will accept these people who are coming from outside as well. Because let's say people are very hospitable. I mean, we have such a beautiful culture of welcoming and allowing everybody to come. But what about the system? What about you know, the system? Sometimes system is hard. Like we have a lot of Africans who maybe they've been living outside for a long time. They want to come back home and invest, but they cannot really invest because it's kind of hard to invest when you don't have like passport. Like if I don't have Tanzanian passport and I want to invest in Tanzania, then basically I have to find someone who is Tanzanian for me to be able to invest and to do everything. But if I do by myself, then there's a lot of complication and all this kind of stuff, which is understandable. But what about these people who are like originally from Africa, like, but they don't really have their identity as an African? You know what I'm saying? In papers, I'm talking about papers. So these are kind of things that we can talk about. Myself, I think I got to think more about this because I've been living away for 9 years, and it might be even more than 10 years or 12 years living away, doing what I do. And I came here when I was very young, like I was like 19 years old, right? So basically I became a man here, right? And when I came here, I started to live like a little kid, like start learning, like in English you learn like A B C D E O, A E O U, like we learn those kind of things back home. So I had to learn that here, in Korea as well, just like as a normal kid. So I gotta say, for all those 9 years, there's the huge part of me has been influenced by the culture and the society right here. But at the same time, I still have my identity as Tanzania because I was born there, and I am fully Tanzanian. I am fully African. But sometimes when you live away for a long time, then there's a connections, there's opportunities that you create, but also the sort of benefits that you can get from from these both sides. And I think it's the time to allowing people to actually have dual citizenship. It's just my thoughts. And thinking about that, this August I have a mega interview with the ambassador, the Kenyan ambassador here in Korea. And one interesting thing about her is that also she has dual citizenship. She's Kenyan American, so she has Kenyan passport as well as American passport. And when the president Uhuru Kenyatta, actually when he appointed her to become an ambassador of Kenyan government here in Korea, like there were a huge debate happened in Kenya. A huge debate. A lot of members of parliament, they got really mad and they're like, you know what, if you wanna become a part of the government, you have to let go of your American citizenship. All right. The topic, but for now, let's invite my brother right here. Hey, my brother, welcome back.
Hey, good to have you, man.
It's really good to see you, all the time.
Yeah, it's really good to see you too, man.
Oh, I can barely hear you. Your voice is very low.
Let me fix it and I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, so I was talking about the uh, Kenyan Kenya's ambassador to South Korea. Yeah. If you search her right now online, if you just write this name, if you search, you'll see what I'm talking about. The first thing that will come is all those article about that. Her name is Mwende Mwinzi. Yeah, Mwende Mwinzi. So welcome. Uh, all right, welcome back, brother.
Okay, thank you very much.
Wait, you lived in America, right? Are you an American?
No,
Ethiopian
I am
American?
not. No, I'm
Eh?
a complete Ethiopian, a pure Ethiopian.
So you never lived outside?
No, never.
Seriously?
Serious.
Wow. Okay. What do you think
You know, many times
about the topic?
I was on exhibition once,
Uh huh. Okay.
and I was explaining about the company working for, and a guy, a diaspora Ethiopian, comes to me and says, asked me to explain to him in English,
Uh
and
huh.
I started explaining, and
Yeah.
then he said, "Do I know you somewhere, like in Washington D.C.?" And I said, "No, no, 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 no. You don't know me
Yeah.
anywhere."
Because honestly, like every time I've been talking to you, I thought you are. I mean, you're diaspora too. That's what I thought.
No, no, I'm not.
Wow. But what do you think? I'm sorry for that. I was trying to fix the light here. Uh, what do you think about this topic and dual citizenship? And like what is your thoughts?
Okay, can you you know, give me a heads up because I wasn't watching. I was doing something else, so I wasn't
Ah,
watching. So can you
yeah, yeah. So I was sharing a little bit about this dual citizenship. Person have like two different identities. Like let's say you've lived in. I mean, you were born in Ethiopia, but then you moved to the States
mhm,
maybe for work purposes or and you've been living there for a long time, like for let's say 10 years plus, then eventually like you have opportunity to actually get a green card or even passport, like American passport. But then when you come in Africa, like most of countries, they don't really allow people to have dual citizenship. Like if I wanna have another citizenship, then I have to let go of my either I have to let go of my Tanzanian citizenship to be American or to be Korean, or I have to let go. You know what I mean. But in that case, like and also we have a lot of Africans who actually left Africa, let's say, a long time ago, and they've been living abroad for a while, and right now they want to go back home, but they cannot really have dual citizenship because it's not allowed. Like, uh, so I kind of feel like it's the conversation we have to take, especially when we are. I mean, our plan and our vision and our goal is to unite the entire continent of Africa, and not just Africans who are in Africa, but also Africans who are living outside of Africa.
okay.
Yeah.
So the topic is about whether it's possible to have a dual citizenship or not, or
Oh,
is it good or bad,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like
The
that,
topic
right?
also at the same time, if it is the time for our governments or African countries to actually consider to allow dual citizenship, and not just outside. Like, let's say I'm like Kenyan Tanzanian. I can have like Kenyan passport and can have Tanzanian passport. Like even within Africa as well.
Okay. It's I don't know. Like, it would be nice, but instead of having citizenship, I mean dual citizenship or any
Mm,
other kinds of citizenship, I
mm,
would say in Africa, I would say um, permission to travel across Africa without visa,
mm-hmm,
permission to travel and work across Africa. entire Africa. I mean,
Okay.
without a visa. That would be a
Mm.
nice thing. But I mean, having a dual citizenship is also like, like you don't know where. I mean, once Africa is united, I mean, that's
Yeah.
a good point to discuss. I mean, like, okay, you have
Yeah.
African, what do you call it? African citizenship, maybe
Mm.
it might work as that one, or it could be just like the
Yeah.
European Union, because I was
Yeah.
going through the European Union history today,
Yeah.
and most of the states in the European Union are, sovereign states, instead of like, let's say, they're not. The Netherlands are the Dutch, and the Germans are the German, and then, like, when you
Yeah.
look at Denmark, they're Denmark, and, like, all those countries are sovereign states.
Yeah.
However, they
Mm.
can travel across Europe, work across Europe, which
Yeah.
the EU established. Now you can
Mm.
do whatever you want in Kenya, whatever you want in Ethiopia. You can start a
Mm.
business. You can do
Yeah.
all those things. I mean, that's a possibility
Yeah.
once the African Union is united. However, if
Yeah.
what you suggested is like, if that doesn't happen soon, having
Yeah.
dual citizenship, I mean, depends. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but from a law perspective, I think from a
Yes.
legal perspective, sometimes it questions where your loyalty lies most of the time.
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
I think that's the reason they don't allow, like, even in Ethiopia, you're not allowed to have a dual citizenship. If
Yeah.
you're
Uh,
American, you're American. If you're a
yeah.
diaspora who's coming from America, you can work in
Mm.
Ethiopia, you can invest in Ethiopia as a diaspora, but you're not
Yeah.
Ethiopian. You're, what do you call it? By uh, it's hard to say. I mean, by
Uh,
birth you're Ethiopian, by law you're
paper.
American,
Uh,
by
uh,
papers
oh.
you're American, or something like that. But
Oh.
the government doesn't impose anything on you because you're Ethiopian by
Yeah.
birth, so they will give you the right to invest, the right to own
Yeah.
property. And
Uh.
one thing about Ethiopia is that you don't, for example, you don't own, if you're a foreigner, you can't own a
Yeah.
property in Ethiopia. And
Yeah.
one thing I'd suggest that Africans,
Mm.
uh, you know, adopt is uh,
Yeah.
a system where you can, naturalize your citizenship. In
Mm.
Ethiopia, you cannot gain citizenship if you want to live the rest of your life in Ethiopia, because as long
Yeah.
as you're not Ethiopian, you can't gain citizenship. I think that should change a little bit. There should be a flexibility based on
Yeah.
where your loyalties lie. But once
Mm.
Africa is once I was going through a lot of African Union stuff here
Yeah.
in today, and all the time I was trying at work, and
That's good.
I was trying to,
Yeah.
go through all the African Union
Mm.
charters and, agreements and plans and aims.
Mm.
And one
Mm.
of it is also, establishing a visa-free
Mm.
travel across Africa. So that's one
Mm.
thing we should be looking at. I mean, for the future, and
Yeah.
I think that's a possibility if
Yeah.
you look at it correctly.
So just to get right what you said, you spoke about the first thing that we have to focus on is to unify Africa, because that is what important right now. And if we have that, like we have that achieved, then it's very easy to move on to another issues, like dual citizenship and thinking about that. That's pretty much.
Exactly, because we need to work on the idea of traveling visa free in Africa.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
comes first. Like every
Yeah.
step is, once you want, if you want to build a pyramid, I was discussing with my
Mm.
brother yesterday. If you want to build a pyramid, the first brick
Mm.
is the thing that matters first. You can
Mm.
see the big picture of the pyramid in your mind, that's
Yeah.
in your imagination, but you can go from the brick
Mm.
to the pyramid, but you cannot go from the
Yeah.
pyramid to
Mm.
the brick.
Mm.
There was this joke that I heard once.
Yeah.
A king orders an engineer, like ideal engineer back in the days,
Mm. Mm.
to start the, what do you call it, the foundation of a house from the
Yeah.
top. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't start a foundation the house from the top.
Yeah.
And you know
Mm,
what the engineer replied, and he said, "Of course,
mm,
Your Majesty, I will do that.
yeah.
But according to our culture and our norm, the
Yeah.
first person who's gonna start establishing that foundation is the
Mm-hmm.
king itself. So if you put the first brick in the sky, then I'll start
Yeah.
establishing the all the the things that you want." So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we need to focus more on united Africa first.
Yeah.
Then after
Yeah.
that comes a lot of things. I think that's
Mm,
where you're going. So
mm,
I think dual citizenship is possible. I mean,
mm.
no citizenship is also possible. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
African, you're African. That's what I dream for. You know, I don't dream
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
about Africa being, you know, like EU. I
Yeah.
dream about Africa completely united and not
Mm,
assimilation, not similarity, but with all the
yeah.
diversity and the beauty of Africa, just Africa
Mm,
united together
mm,
as diverse nations and as
mm.
most beautiful nations. Then I think there is hope for us to travel everywhere and
That's
work everywhere and live everywhere.
mm, mm. I love that so much what you say, and especially when you're talking about like you hope, you wish, like in Africa we have, we allowing one another to actually move anywhere around Africa to start your business, to get a job, or to work. Because that's actually that's how you develop the economy of a place, when you have a free movement of trade between one country and another country. We see that in East Africa, for example. We see we have the railways that is actually connecting pretty much three countries first, and also they're trying to move to other. We can have, yeah, we can have things like that, infrastructure that's actually connect one country to another country, whereby people will be able to move freely. Like if I'm Tanzanian, I can go to Kenya, get a job there, or I can start a business. I can go to Ethiopia, do something there, or start a business. I think that will help us so much to develop one another, I mean, in Africa. But if we have a lot of restriction like we do right now, then it's really hard to be united. Because right now when you look at Africa, it's like, okay, East Africa, they're right there, West Africa, they're there, North Africa, they're there. They don't even consider themselves African sometimes. And then you have South Africa right there. But all these four different parts, and Central Africa as well, all these five different parts, Africa, you know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
really hope, wish to have what you were actually suggesting right now.
yeah.
It's very important.
It is important, and I think it's also important to work on on the African educational curriculum too. We don't have
Mm-hmm.
self-reflection, and educational curriculum in Africa doesn't have a self-reflection education
Mm-hmm.
system. We struggle to study in the university. I studied veterinary medicine, and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't. I can say 100% I wasn't well equipped with the practical work of
Yeah.
veterinary medicine. Because when I went to
Mm-hmm.
the farm and practiced my skill, I have a lot to learn from even layman people who were doing it, you know, in a traditional way.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that education system needs to work on, and there's a lot of things that the education system needs to improve in Africa, because it's a
Mm-hmm.
kind of, what do you call it, a bulk education. Like you're teaching
Yeah.
a fish to fly, you're teaching a fish to burrow, a bird to swim, and all those things, which are, you know, like most of the time the curriculum and all those things matter, because
Yeah.
right now most
Mm-hmm.
Africans, most Ethiopians, like I
Mm-hmm.
cannot call for Africans, but I have seen many Ethiopians, and many Ethiopians, the focus is selfish development, selfish growth.
Mm-hmm.
It's me only. You know, when
Mm-hmm.
it's I only, it becomes illness, and when it's we, it becomes wellness. So
Yeah.
you know, like we're always saying I'm the first guy, I'm the one, I did this, I did that. You know, there's no we
Mm-hmm.
did that, there is no we can do that, there's no team
Mm-hmm.
spirit. So
Yeah. Yeah.
most of the time we have to remove that picture. Then that's
Mm-hmm.
where it starts, you know, like getting to know each other, getting to know Africa, getting, you
Yeah.
know, exploring your own country. Then after
Mm-hmm.
exploring your own country, and I introduce you to mine, you introduce me to
Yeah.
yours,
Yeah.
and all those cultures are shared, appreciated, and then you
Mm-hmm.
establish, you know, a kind of cultural tourism state where you can relate based on tourism and culture.
yeah,
Then you start like,
yeah,
if we work together, if we
mm,
collaborate, like,
yeah,
because the west is the west
one
and the
another, yeah,
north is the north and the
yeah,
east is the east. I mean, there's
uh,
even what do you call it, the ECOWAS, and the east part has its own union. Then there's the
exactly,
west part, which has, the
yeah,
north
yeah,
doesn't believe that they don't even believe
yeah,
that they're Africans, I think. So
uh,
uh, it's not all about the color, or it's not
yeah,
about the color of your skin. It's about
mm,
believing in who you are.
yeah,
Are you from Africa? Are you originated from Africa? So you're African. But
mm,
if you don't believe in that sense, then, I mean, you're right. It's tough
mm,
to unite people who don't want saving and people who don't want help. But
yeah,
look at
because
yeah,
please finish. Go ahead, go ahead.
look at
I catch you.
Julius Malema. He's I'm a big fan of Julius Malema. I'm not saying
Mm,
like, I'm not standing against the white people in South Africa, but his
yeah,
call for Africa to stand up together, uh, time for Africa.
yeah,
This is the time that we show that we're, people of
mm,
well manner and, good deeds and good knowledge and good skills. And this is the time
mm,
that we show that we're better at what we do. I mean, I have a lot to learn from you. You have a lot to learn from me.
yeah,
So like, that's
yes,
where we should come. Like,
mm,
we're taught to be self alone, individualistic.
yeah,
So we're not
which is
social.
yeah,
Yeah,
mm,
individuals. We're
mm,
individuals in Africa. So like,
mm,
Nigerians believe that they're Nigerians, and the resource of
mm,
Nigeria is for Nigeria. I mean, no one is going to take that if you're united.
mm,
Nigeria will stay
mm,
Nigeria, and Nigerians
mm,
will stay Nigerians. However,
yeah, yeah,
all we're asking is, if our natural resource is combined with
yeah,
the Nigerian natural resource, we can
exactly.
we can
Mm,
we can boost
yeah,
up
we can achieve
Africa's
a lot.
development and growth
Exactly.
a lot. I mean, let's
Yeah.
say Ghana has a harbor and, a
Mm,
coast where you can park your ships and all those things. You can
yeah.
have. We don't have that one. I mean, Eritrea
Yes.
has the
Mm,
Misewa, and also the Djibouti has also
mm,
shipment areas. I don't know what they're called because we don't have them. I'm not
mm,
used to the language. So if you can help
mm,
me,
mm. Yeah.
they have the beach side, the
Mm,
ocean
mm,
by their side. We don't.
mm,
So if we
yeah.
collaborate with Djibouti, it will be really
Mm,
amazing because
yeah.
they have
Exactly.
the coast and we don't have it. Then we can share that and we can, develop Djibouti and develop Ethiopia together. But it's
Mm.
it's it's all about
Mm.
mind. Like, yeah. Go
That's the
ahead.
same thing that happens actually in Tanzania because we have Indian Ocean, but when you look at Rwanda, Burundi, and Congo, they don't really have a port. They don't have, so they usually use the same port either from Mombasa or from Dar es Salaam to import and to export a lot of products that are coming from outside, or if they wanna do something like that. So we see that happening in some of the countries, which it actually like it helps a lot. Like you can see, for me, I'm really proud of. I know we have a long way to go, even East Africa, but I think is one of the strongest like union that is there. I mean, it's not there yet. Uh, like to be honest, but it's one of the like it's getting there. Like it's getting there slowly, and yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. If we can
Do you
unite
think?
Africa, if
Do you think? Do you think people want to be united? Because we talk about unity, we talk about, but in a country, you as an Ethiopian inside Ethiopia, you see the situation, you see what's going on. Do you really think people want to be united or they want to be divided?
Uh, the divide and conquer rule, right? Most
Mm,
politicians use it, and most of the West use it to so that
yeah.
we're not, stable enough for
Mm,
our own economy. So the
mm,
divide and conquer rule has been working for a while because when you go to the South African history of apartheid, uh,
yeah.
many people, many black people, many South
Mm.
Africans were purchased by money or bread
Exactly.
so that they can
Yeah.
turn on their own people. The
Mm-hmm.
same thing is happening in Africa right now.
Mm.
Because, for
Yeah.
example, look at Egypt and
Mm.
Ethiopia and Sudan.
Mm.
At first, Sudan
Yeah.
agreed with Ethiopia to, on the tripartite agreement, the treaty.
Yes.
She agreed,
Mm.
and she suggested. I mean, Sudan suggested it would help her with the flooding of Sudan.
Mm.
Like the
Mm.
flood will stop, and the amount of water that goes overflows Sudan will stop, and all
Yeah.
those things. And
Mm.
suddenly, you see a dynamic change by the
Yeah.
influence of Egypt and by the influence of the West, which which is, if you let Ethiopia, this is how it is working. There is a tale in Ethiopia when grade one, when you study in grade one, there's a
Yeah.
tale that you learn in Ethiopia. So there were the tale goes like this: there were three bulls living together, and
Mm-hmm.
those three bulls, their color is black, uh,
Mm.
white, and black and white. So
Okay.
there's a black one, there's a white one, and there's a black and white one. So a
Mm-hmm.
hyena appears to them and tells them, uh, the white one, I can spot him from distance, even in the dark.
Mm.
So he's an enemy for you. He's a threat for you. So you should
Mm.
just stay away from him. So
Yeah.
that night, they separate from him. They
Mm.
separate themselves from him. Then they move away. Then the hyena gets
Mm.
the white bull. Then he comes to the
Yeah.
two bulls remaining, and he suggests, the black and white one are still, white spots. So
Mm.
uh, I can still see him. And then the black one
Mm.
runs away from the black and white one, and then the white one, the black and white one, the black one, both are eaten by a hyena. If they stood
Mm.
together, you know what he said? The black one
Yeah.
asked the hyena. Uh, the black one asked the hyena, "What? How? I mean, you said that it was the black and white one, and then you said it was the white one. Now you're coming for me." And
Mm.
he said, when I ate you already, because the moment I told you that the white one
Mm.
was your threat, your enemy, and you believed that,
Mm.
that's when I started eating all of you. You see, when you start thinking about
Mm.
yourself only, and when you start listening to the
Mm.
third party, which has no interest
Yeah.
in your development or in your growth, then when you start listening
Mm.
to those people,
Uh,
then you start
yeah.
dying immediately. Uh,
Yeah.
let's say
Mm.
we have the Great Renaissance Dam, which is helpful to
Mm.
East Africa. We can generate a lot of electricity for Ethiopia and for industrializing Uganda, Tanzania. I mean, we can send it to anyone out there. We can sell it,
Yeah.
we can profit from it. Then people use the
Mm.
electricity, and at the same time,
Yeah.
when the water is low, Ethiopia can think about Sudan and Egypt and release some
Mm.
amount of water. I mean, but they want a rigid stand. And I don't think this is all
Mm.
about the water or the dam or the electricity. It's all about
Yeah.
uh, who is a superpower. It's all about being
Oh.
powerful nation.
Mm.
And it
Mm.
doesn't matter
Mm.
who powerful it is in Africa, as long as they're in Africa. If Kenya is
Yeah.
powerful, Ethiopia is going to take advantage of that and
Uh,
make alliance with Kenya. If Sudan is
yeah.
powerful, Ethiopia should take advantage of that and make alliance with Sudan.
Mm. Mm.
All of them should create alliances where their common interest and common goal is to grow Africa, develop
Yeah.
Africa, and use
Yeah.
its entire potential. Because
Exactly.
we shouldn't be fighting about water or gold.
Yeah.
Because if you go to the Gold Coast, you find a lot of gold. If you go
Mm.
to Sierra Leone, you find an amazing diamond. If you come to Ethiopia,
Yeah.
there's nature, there's gold, there's silver, anything you need. If I come to go
In
to
Tanzania,
Tanzania,
we have
there's a lot of culture.
Tanzanite. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I mean,
Yeah.
imagine if we combine all that potential, we can
Yeah.
create
Yeah.
an amazing nation together. But now they're telling us, if Ethiopia gains power. See, this is the
Mm.
question. If MC, I'm gonna call you MC. So if MC is powerful,
Uh,
he's going to destroy you. So I'm going to believe that, and I'm going to
mm.
stand against you. So this is what's
Yeah. To
happening.
stop you
It,
from
it's not
yeah
about.
from
It's not
getting the
about. It, working together. Exactly. So we don't work together. So team spirit is dead.
Wow.
Like look at African teams, African football teams going to the World Cup. They work their butt off. They really run here and there. They play an amazing game. At the end of the day, they're back home. No
Yeah.
one gets the World Cup because there's no team spirit. The others have
Yeah.
team spirit and they have a calculated team spirit. You know,
Yeah.
like for example, a foreign investment comes to Ethiopia. A simple
Mm.
example I can give you. I was working on a huge foreign investment in a place called Ziway in Ethiopia. So it's
Mm.
a huge feedlot. So
Yeah.
there were British, there were Americans, there were Dutch people, and a lot of people.
Mm.
So you know what they
Mm.
do? There are a lot of mechanics in Ethiopia that can fix tractors, vehicles, and everything. But
Mm.
they pay a better money for their own people so that they
Mm.
can come and work and make money and in Ethiopia. And they don't want to transfer the knowledge because when that guy goes back and when the tractor is broken, they have to bring him back and pay him another money.
Mm.
You see,
Mm.
this is they support each other. I'm not against it because they're
Yeah.
helping each other. But what are we
Yeah.
really doing with each other? Like, what are we really doing
Mm.
with other African, citizens? Like when I see a Kenyan, what do I feel? I have Kenyan friend actually. His name
Yeah.
is Dr. Diba Dida Wag,
Uh,
and also a Sudanese friend, Dr. Yasser Adam Shwahib. Also,
yeah.
also from South Sudan, I had a friend. We were in the university together, and it was an amazing combination. I mean, you get along.
Yeah.
There is
It's
nothing
always
wrong in
great.
there.
Yeah. Mm.
It
Mm.
was amazing. It was more than was more than great. I mean, we always eat outside together. We had
Yeah.
fun. We play football. We understand each other. It's all about
Yeah.
understanding, right? You don't need.
That's
I don't
yeah.
need to share my money or my life with you. I just need to share
Yeah.
my culture and
That's
my time with
yeah.
you.
That's
Exactly.
that's what happens actually outside. Like for us Africans who are living outside, like when you come here, for example, where I'm living, it's about like it's not even about country. Like Africans, we are more united outside than inside the continent. Like outside, like
Exactly.
continent, and we are here right now. Like I look at my friends all over, like around me. All, I mean, my best friend that I've been living together with him in the same house. He's from, and a lot of close friends. Like we have Ghanaian, we have Nigerian, we have Kenyan, we have Congolese. Like a lot of friends and a lot of people that we always hang out outside. Is we look at each other and then we have something in common, and so it's very easy for us to be united and connected right here. But the question is, when you go inside the country, it's something different. Like you can barely do something like that most of the time. You can barely do something like that, and I think it's because of also one point that you actually pointed out slightly. Each Africa, they have their own strength and they have their own weakness. They have their own
Hmm.
resources. Like if you go to
Yeah.
Tanzania, if you go to Ethiopia, if you go to all these countries, so different strength, they have different weaknesses, and this is, I mean, we come to African Union again, as all these leaders when they're meeting and have a meeting about improve our continent. I like I don't know what really happened in those meetings when they're sitting down and talk, because there's there's a big room for collaboration. For example, if you're talking about the dam that is happening in Ethiopia, it's not just going to benefit Ethiopians, but it will benefit a lot of African countries around the continent. Like millions and millions of people who have been living in the dark, they will be able to have a light, again, electricity, and that will help in
Hmm.
business, will help in daily life. It will serve so many things, and it will actually help to boost economy, not just of Ethiopia,
Sure.
but other African countries. So that is just a dam project in Ethiopia, which is like it's the biggest like in Africa. But then when you go to other countries, they're different. Like this country, they have like when you talk about tourism, when you go to East Africa, like when you go to Tanzania specifically, there's so much opportunities there for tourism. You talk about Kilimanjaro, you talk about Serengeti, you talk about Zanzibar, you talk about in different places. When you go to South Africa, the same thing. When you go to Congo, you are talking about minerals. Like these phones that we are using, the tools that we are using for this phone, they actually Congo is one of the richest country in Africa when it comes to minerals. Congo, but yet is one of the poorest country in Africa. Okay, we say we have lack of technology. For example, Tanzanite. This is like you can only find these minerals in Tanzania. It almost looks like diamond and it's very expensive. But the thing is, we export them to India. India, they manufacture it and then they bring it back to us to sell it to us with higher price. But in Africa, I mean, there's a countries that actually developed when it comes to technology. When you look at South Africa, they're there. They're even producing cars, right, in South Africa. But why we cannot find a way to actually unite different countries with different strength? Man, we'll be one of the superpower continent in this world. And the thing is, even Western and Eastern, they know that, and that's why every single time there's so much effort to divide, to keep them apart, and it's all up because of power. You pointed out about that, and that is true. It's because of power. Because if we let them unite, let them work together, they're gonna be very powerful, and because of that, we are not gonna be able to control. So it's all about controlling them. We need to make them work for us to be able to control them. We need to fight them so that they may run back to us and beg for our help, and we go back. So it's the same thing. It's just neo-colonialism right now what you're going through.
Exactly. I mean, look, that's why I said earlier, I mentioned the educational system. The curriculum has to be reviewed. The curriculum has to change. Most of the time in schools, we were taught to compete with one another, right?
Yeah.
The competition is with your classmates or with your, I know, schoolmates.
Yeah.
I don't know, like whoever you're competing. It's all about competition. No one taught us working in collaboration. So
Yeah.
it was a competitive. It's bacteria grows by competitive elimination. So like one bacteria overtakes the other one by competing for nutrients. The same way we're just competing on a resource-rich continent. I mean, if other continents compete about it, it's understandable because resource is scarce. But when Africa competes for resource, it's like we're sleeping on it, but it's instead of working and using it, we're just competing for anyone to see it. Like, hey, don't touch it, don't touch my stuff. I'm not touching it. Like don't touch my minerals. I'm not touching them. But somebody's gonna come and invest and touch them. I mean, what is the problem if a Nigerian invests in Ethiopia? What is the problem if a Kenyan
Yeah.
invests in Ethiopia? Nothing.
Yeah.
Like everything is all about collaborating and working
Yeah.
together, like you said. So
Exactly.
our education system needs to change, because
Yeah.
if you don't change the education system from competition to cooperation,
Yes.
cooperative
Yes.
learning. For example,
Collaboration. Yeah.
let's say you're good at math and I'm good at biology, and then I suck at math and you suck at biology. So if you make it a cooperative curriculum, if you make it a cooperative education system, then you change the mindset that I have to help MC
Yeah.
on biology so that he can help me on mathematics. You see,
Yeah.
are our school systems always tell you, are you the
Yeah.
outstanding student? It's
Really
all
bad.
about getting A's and A pluses, or getting
Yeah.
straight A's or something like
Yeah.
that. But no, like not everything is about grade. Not everything is about being
Exactly.
the best.
Mm.
Exactly. So when success becomes common in your
Yeah.
neighborhood, for example,
Yeah.
let's say you're living currently in Korea, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you made money in Korea and then you came back to Tanzania and you bought let's say Porsche or
Mm.
the I don't know, Mercedes-Benz, the latest
Mm.
model. Since
Yeah.
there is no other Mercedes-Benz, the latest model in Tanzania, people are going to
Mm.
look around and say, "Wow, it's an amazing Mercedes-Benz." You know, like
Yeah.
that's new. Everybody's going to stare at you, the way you
Mm.
dress, the way you drive the car. They're going to get scared to, even crush the car with you because, they can't afford to pay it back. But
Mm.
imagine if there were every Tanzanian was driving a Mercedes-Benz. You see,
Mm.
there was no competition and no one is
Yeah.
going to stare at you. No one is going to try to steal your car or crash your car or
Mm.
do anything to your car because everyone has it. Success is
Yeah.
common. Now, success is accidental in Africa. So we're more focused on the things that people are wearing, on the things that people are driving, on the things
Yeah.
that on
Yeah.
the phone
Yeah.
that people are holding. And
Mm.
like most of the time it's an identity crisis.
Mm.
We have an amazing culture clothes, but we're
Mm.
not talking about culture clothes. I mean, we want to wear Nike, we want to wear Adidas, we want
Yeah.
we want to wear, uh, let's say, Jordan. We want to wear
Yeah.
something commonly known fashion
Yeah.
stylist because
Yeah. Yeah.
we don't know who we are. It's about question of
Mm.
identity.
Mm.
Who am I? So when you
Mm.
answer that question, who am I? I'm Ethiopian. I have 86 different clothes in Ethiopia. So if I have those, if I start thinking about them, and if I can
Yeah.
think about wearing about a Tanzanian cultural clothes, you see, that's
Mm.
where the who am I gets answered. So self-reflection and also
Yeah.
cooperative education should start in Africa so that we can change the coming generation will work on cooperative education system. Then the cooperative education system will give you access to
Mm.
change different things. Like I said, attitudes. Like I have to help you for
Mm.
you to help me. I have to do something for you. When you achieve, I achieve. Because
Mm.
if you're stuck with mathematics and if I'm stuck with
Yeah.
biology, then,
Mm.
like we can win it together by helping each other. So it has to
Yeah.
be a cooperative uh,
Corporate. Yeah.
education system. And I know one school in the local area that I'm living in, which is called Bishoftu or Debrecen formerly. In
Mm.
only one school practices that kind of education system. There is no number one student. The
Mm.
director decided there is no number one student. Everyone is number one based
Yeah.
on their own interest. So
Mm.
that has to develop in Africa for us to, change this mentality of
Yeah.
uh, feeling affected when you're coming to my home, to my country.
This is it's great point. It's great point what you spoke about. It got me thinking that most of our countries, even my country, the system of education that we're using is like the one that colonists started. Even the curriculum that we're using is actually from another country, like from the UK. And when you think about that, this is what I was talking about yesterday. That Africans, we have to think for ourselves. We cannot let other people think for us, because the curriculum and all these things, of course there's a good things with this type of education that we're using, but also there's a negative side. Like there's a side of it that it always there to make us dependent and not really independent. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just a second. Yeah, so there's a way that, like, the way this system works, it's in the way that it makes us to be dependent to them somehow more than to be independent and to believe in ourselves. Like you talked about believing in yourself, and it's true. Like our education system, that's the way that it was designed. And even the stories that we read in the book, the stories about colonialism and all those stuff, there's a lot of twists right there. You can barely find African history sometimes, even in our books, the books that we're using, because all these books, they were printed outside of the continent, not even in our countries. So I think there's a need of coming with our own our own stories, coming with our own plans, coming with our asking ourselves what really matters to us. And this is where we really need Africa generation, like to sit down and to rethink again that what really matters to our people. What do we want to teach our people? Because you don't have to learn to compete with the, with the other country, but you need to learn to improve. You spoke about competition, and it's such a bad mindset that I study to compete with somebody to see like who is gonna be the first and who is gonna be the second. But that doesn't really matter. Do you even learn something, or you're just in school because you wanna become the first, and then at the end of the day, graduate, you cannot really do anything outside because you were studying for your grades. So what really matters to us? Is it something that can improve us, can give us knowledge to actually start something for ourselves, start something for our community, or we're just learning so that we may compete with somebody out there who they don't really care anything about you, but they want to take everything away from you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So true. Yeah, I know. I know. You know, like if you ask the new generation, our generation,
Mm,
for example, what is the capital city of Kenya? What's the capital city of Sudan? What's the capital city of
mm,
Egypt?
mm.
They would rather tell you a football player from
Mm,
English Premier League or Champions League, or a basketball player from America's NBA or something like that. Like a tennis player or rugby player, something like that. They cannot even tell you in detail. I remember when I was I think grade 3 and 4. Uh,
yeah.
my dad made me memorize the 54 states in Africa, and now they're 55. But
Oh,
back in the days, they were 54
yeah.
states in Africa, and memorize their capital cities. I didn't
Wow.
see the importance, but now I realize it's
Mm,
self knowledge. Like
yeah.
knowing myself,
Mm,
knowing where my origin is.
yeah.
So the more you
Mm,
know, the more you know about Africa, the more you know who you are.
that's true.
Sorry, the more you know about Africa, the more you know who you are. The more you
Yeah.
understand who you are,
Exactly.
where
Yeah.
you came
Yeah.
from, what your
Yeah.
purpose is,
Yeah.
what you need to do. So when I think about Africa,
Yeah.
basically
That's,
I think about, like I said, I think about education. I think
yeah.
about politics. I think about our politicians, because
Yeah.
the outcome of that bad education system, you can see it in the politics, you can see it in the policy making, you can see it in the uh, work ethics, all those things.
Mm,
All those
mm,
are influence of bad educational curriculum. So if we can
yeah.
change the educational curriculum, at least
Mm,
we might not live to
mm,
see the fruits of unity in Africa, but we
yeah.
might create a generation that will fight for unity and
Exactly.
make Africa
Yeah.
great. So that's
Mm-hmm.
our maybe children or grandchildren. We don't
Yeah.
know, but this discussion is not about changing it, because Rome wasn't built in one night. So
Exactly. Yeah.
Africa
It takes
Union will
time.
not be built in one night. So we
Mm,
this is just a step in the unity of Africa. But if we can, make it faster, this is how we can do it.
mm,
We can be the voice
mm,
of Africa, and we can, talk about the points, the critical points that Africa needs to change, and people will
yeah.
hear about it, and then, you know, ego will strike in, but at the end they will listen.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, man, I really appreciate. That's I really appreciate. And
Thank
by
you. I really appreciate it.
and by the way, also feel free. Hey, you haven't sent to me that paper that you say you send it to me. You remember?
I'm gonna finish it. I already reached page 4 today. So
Okay.
yesterday I wrote 2 pages. So I'm writing more, and I want
Okay.
to read it out loud to all Africans, and share it with anyone that you know. And I'm
That's a
gonna share it with everyone after you make the video. I'm gonna share it with everyone that I know. I'm gonna make them,
okay.
listen to it, get
Yeah.
the point, because I made a compare and contrast of European Union and African
Mm,
Union. The
yeah.
European Union, if they sign a treaty, you know, the same. We have the same structure from Europe.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
African Union is established the same way. However,
Mm,
the European
mm,
Union is fast in decision making actions immediately.
yeah.
1998, they signed a treaty. In
Mm,
2000, they're gone, doing it already, established.
mm,
In 18 something, in 1951 something, in
mm,
1952, it's in action. That's what
mm,
Africa needs, because the objective of the African Union, when you read
mm,
it, it's amazing. But there has
yeah.
not been a single treaty signed
Mm,
between any other countries. There's no treaty, there's no policy, there's no protocol how to unite Africa and how to
yeah.
make Africa use those policies,
Yeah.
or achieve those objectives that were laid
Mm,
out.
mm, mm,
So I'll send you, and you'll read it, and if you have
definitely.
something to add on, you can add on it. And then I've made some emphasis on the papers like that I read, and I'll send you
Mm, okay. That's amazing. I can't wait to see that.
about
Can't wait.
some of the things. Sorry, I made an emphasis, my own suggestions, my own emphasis over there, and points to really focus on. Uh, After you read it,
Yeah.
I really want you to discuss it with me. I
Okay.
will send you my WhatsApp, and
All
maybe if you
right.
can send me your email address, then I can
Yeah.
attach it to you on your email. Or
Definitely.
Facebook, I requested you today because
Oh,
I was looking for you. I wasn't a user of.
let's right away right now. Oh, he's gone. What is it? I have a lot of requests here. Yes. Wow. That that was good. That was amazing. Um. Yeah. Yes, guys. Wow. We started to talk about dual citizenship and we went all the way to education system. I love this. Maybe maybe we can add this tomorrow, or the next day after that, because today is the fourth day in a row. But tomorrow I might not be able to do this stream, and if I'm not gonna do it tomorrow, I'll let you guys know, because I might be having a work tomorrow to do the whole night long, like not sleeping at all. I might not be able to do this, but I'll let you guys know in the community tab and through Instagram as well. So you guys can follow me at Mika Chavala and official Swahili, or One Africa official. I'll let you guys know on Instagram if you're gonna do it tomorrow or not. But I think what we talked about and the education system in Africa, I think is something very important. I'll share with you guys something about where I am right now. So in Korea, there's one word. I'll teach you one word in Korean today. There's one word in Korea called uri. 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 Uri basically means us or we. So Korean is kind of like the the main foundation of Korean society. Uri. Uri Nara. Uri Pap. Uri Nara, it means our country. Our people, our food, our sports, our in everything they have this one word called Uri. And when you come to Korea, it's about Korea versus others. Like even us foreigners, we have our name. They call us Wagugin. That is a Korean name, which means Wagugin. It means friend. So when you come to Korea, whether you look black or white or you look different from Korea, then you're gonna always be called Wagugin. Even if you lived here for a long time, or even if you become Korean, you're always called Wagugin because you look different and you're not Uri. So there's a good side of that, and also there's a negative side of that. Negative side of that is that um, it becoming very selfish and it become very monoculture society, that the only thing that we want is for us, and you're not part of us. So it becomes very monoculture society. But the good side of it is that, I mean, it has always been monoculture society, but the good side of it is that it shows patriotism. Like, people are very loyal to their own, to what they have. They're very loyal to their people. They're very loyal to what they do. They're very loyal to their people. So even like, let's say if something has happened and it's between me and Korean, and we are standing in front of Korean, maybe police or Korean people, and we speak, I will look guilty. You know why? Because of Uri, because of Uri. So they know how to stand for one another. They know how to be there for one another. They know how to cooperate with one another. Like, when it comes to the battle between Korea and other place, then it's always gonna be them, which is rare. You can find in our countries. You can find, like, it's rare to find that, because if you find people that the only thing they care about is themselves. The only thing they care about is their families. The only thing they care is about me and what I have, and not even my neighbors. I always say this. I've been saying this again and again. And if you use this caption, put Mika, the name MC right there. I've been saying this. If your neighbor is not at peace, you are not at peace. If your neighbor is not at peace, you're not at peace. We have to get this into our system. That is the spirit of caring. That's the spirit of love. That is the spirit of unity. That is the spirit of brother's keeper, being there for your brother, being there for your neighbor, being there for Africa, being there for your people. Like, that's the spirit, man. And until the time we reach there, then we're never gonna see change. If your neighbor is not at peace, you're not at peace. That means if your neighbor succeed, you succeed. That means if you guys are doing so well economically, it's a win to us as well, because you guys are African, you're doing well, and I know that your success is my success, because through that, I will get opportunity to actually benefit from what is happening right there, and not even benefit, but also learn and different opportunities from that. But it's very separated right now. Like, the borders that you see in Africa, it's how it is, even in the minds of people, that, you know what, I am from this country. I don't care what is happening there. You know what, I am Tanzania, they are Kenyan. Man, when it comes to Africa, we need to have the same mindset. We need to have the same spirit. I don't know, it's not something that you're gonna force people to have, but that's what we're talking about, education system right now. I think it's the time for our government to figure out our own system. This is not the time of colonialism. It's not that time. It's the time to figure out, to really African countries to sit down and to think what is important for Africa. Because what happens right now, everything that is going on in the Western countries, they wanna import them to Africa as well. So if they believe that this is how things they should be done, they want Africa as well to believe that. But we have our own culture, we have our own norms, we have our own beliefs, we have our own priorities, and we have to focus on that. Nobody else knows our priority but ourselves. But us, we are the one who knows that. That's why, after Swahili Nation, doing Swahili Nation for a while, Swahili Nation, it brought another baby, and that is One Africa. Because I came to realize that, okay, Swahili Nation is doing really well, and people are learning Swahili and all those kind of stuff. But it kind of like, just looking at the name, it kind of like draw the line that, oh, I'm not from the eastern part of Africa. I don't even know Swahili. I don't even speak Swahili. Then this is not for me. That's why we come with One Africa. Now that, you know what? Yes, we can say Swahili Nation, but Swahili Nation basically is African nation, because Swahili is the culture from Africa. So it doesn't matter where that culture is coming from, but it's Africa. And if it is coming from Africa, it's pure, it's good, it's beautiful, and if you're African, you're part of it. That's the spirit right there. Anyways, guys, I'm not gonna stay here long today. I think we had an amazing conversation. And Doctor, you're right here. I just realized right you're here. Yes,
Yeah,
before.
I'm really thrilled. You're right.
Uh
I
huh.
really appreciate what you said. I was just listening, and it's an amazing thing. Really,
Mm,
really, really, really amazing. I had
yeah.
a really nice conversation with you.
Yes.
Uh,
Me too.
this is
Mm,
just the early beginning. Um, I think it's just one Africa is going to be uh, an issue, a big issue of Africans.
mm,
We
yeah.
have to find people who are gonna listen everywhere and who are gonna spread the word and who are gonna discuss this issue too with us
Yeah.
and bring up
Exactly.
something to the table. That's an amazing thing.
Mm. Definitely. Feel free as well to anytime to suggest if you'll have anything that you love us to discuss. If it is a topic or it's something like you feel like, brother, I think we should talk about this as well. Feel free to to suggest as well. And you said you found me on you said you found me on Facebook, right? But I cannot find you here.
Uh, it says Ebenezer, Benzer. I can send you. I I think it's Let's see. Let me put it. Benzer Gebre.
Ah, this one. Wait, is this you? This one?
A house, a wooden house.
A wooden house? Oh,
Yeah,
actually, this
Benzer.
person. I mean, this person is Ethiopian as well, but this is not. I think it's the picture. It's not. This is not you, right?
No, 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 no. That's not me.
Ethiopian, actually. I think there's a lot of names like that. Um.
I sent you a private chat. I sent you my name on Facebook. You can find it with
Okay.
that.
All right.
See?
Then here on the private chat as well, I will send to you my email
Okay.
right here, so that okay, that is at gmail.com. So in
Okay.
that email, you can just reach out to me and share as well the number, and then maybe we can continue to talk on WhatsApp as well.
All right. I will. Okay. Let me send you my number. Oh, for WhatsApp for nine. Okay. +251.
Let me send here as well. We can continue with this conversation, and if you have any suggestion about the topic, then anytime we can. And I remember you told me if I come to Ethiopia, you'll host me. So if you close.
Oh yeah. Of course. Of course. Of course. Come on.
I just sent to you my number in a private chat, so
All
you'll
right.
be able to
Okay.
find me on WhatsApp. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All
All
right.
right,
Got it.
brother. I really
All right,
appreciate
brother.
it, man.
Thank you. Thank
I
you
enjoyed the
very much,
conversation
and thank
today.
you for taking the initiative to One Africa.
Uh,
From Swahili Nation,
yeah,
gave birth to One Africa. You never know what One Africa will give birth to, but
yeah,
we hope it will give birth to really One Africa. So
exactly,
I'm really
definitely.
happy that you're
Yeah.
hosting this show, and
Mm.
also I like the what do you call them, the reactions that you were doing on
Oh,
Ethiopian music, Somali
yeah.
music, all those music.
Mm.
I mean, jam it up a little bit, and then
Mm.
yeah, anything you need from our side.
Mm.
You're
Yeah.
teaching Swahili. I'm actually learning a little bit Swahili, but it's been hard for me to. Langu.
Oh.
What is Langu?
Ah.
Langu.
wow.
Langu is.
Actually, Wow, actually, there's a Swahili community there in Addis Ababa. They're
Ah,
teaching
nice.
Swahili right there. I think I spoke before that they invited me on January next year for they're having a forum, so they invited me there. I'm not sure if I'll
Um,
be able to go there, but they have Swahili community right there, and a lot of Ethiopians are learning Swahili. Right?
okay.
Mm.
Okay. All right. For you for today, I'm gonna give you one Amharic word, and that's how
Okay.
we're gonna say. So, if you're coming on a show and if you're talking about Ethiopia, like if you're, let's say, you're saying, "How are you guys?" But that's going to be a
Mm.
bit harder. Uh, Salam nachu.
Salam Nachu.
Salam nachu. That's good. That's good. You're
Ah,
original.
That is good. That's how you guys salam nachu. That's
Yeah,
really good.
salam
That's really
nachu.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
salam
salam
nachu.
nachu.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
how you say. If you want to greet a person, you would say endetne.
huh?
Endetne.
And that night.
Endetne is for a guy, endetnesh is for a girl.
Ah, girl. All right.
Or
I mean,
for a group, for example, for Swahili Nation, you can just say endetnachu.
indeed nachu.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh,
Salam nachu, endetnachu.
you're gonna need to send those voice note on my WhatsApp. All right.
Okay, sure, no problem.
All right. I really
All right.
appreciate, brother.
Yeah,
All right.
me too. I really appreciate it and keep
Mm,
doing the good work.
I
Really.
appreciate. Appreciate.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right. You too. All right. Bye, Swahili Nation.
Bye bye. Yes. All right, guys. So today was an amazing conversation. And I really enjoyed. I know some of you didn't get a chance to come to the live stream, but we're gonna. This is not the end. We're gonna keep doing this. And for today, I will end here. I'm gonna try to keep this for 1 hour, so that I may have energy to actually do another day as well. And I will let you guys know through my Instagram, um, Mika Chavala, if tomorrow we're gonna do this or not, because there's a work I might be doing the whole night tomorrow. If that happens, then I'm not gonna be able to do this. But if not, then I'll be able to come back and to continue with another topic for tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for stopping by here today. If you're new to this family, subscribe, turn notification button, follow your boy on social media. As well, you can support Swahili Nation by becoming a member and contribute every single month, or you can use super chat on the live stream like this. It will help us to operate and to move on with what we are doing right now. Anyways, guys, good night, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Until next time, Swahili Nation, Swahili to the world. Don't forget, love one another and spread peace wherever you are. I'm out of here. Bye bye. I love you all. Saram Nachu. I learned that today.